North Philadelphia, born and raised on playground. That's where I spent most of my days.
Okay.
Chilling out, maxing on cool, jumping some double dutch outside of the school with a couple of girls that were up to
Watch out now.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. She said, "You put your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." Hey y'all, it's the first day after the conference. The conference is officially over for the day. I gave my presentation. It was one of the last presentations of the day. I wrecked my brain about it for the last 2 weeks. Apparently I did really good. There were a lot of compliments from the customers who were in, from customers and partners who were in the audience. And there was one particular customer who's interested, and now they want me to help them out on their project. So I guess I must have sounded really smart. But it's just like, oh, okay, a new project to add to my list. That's fine. But I guess that means I did really well. And I did really, really good. So I'm happy about that. All right, so I'm going to head on over to Simply Tanika's house and hang out with her for the rest of the evening and hopefully not get back too late because I have booth duty at 6:30 in the morning. Who did that to me? Why would they do that? 7:30? I literally have to be up and dressed and downstairs and at a booth to answer questions at 7:30 in the morning. Technical questions at that. I'll live. But I'm having a blast. It's just been a really long day, and I'm so freaking tired. But I'm glad the presentation went well, and now I get to relax for the rest of the conference and just enjoy the sessions and not have to worry about my own. So, happy about that. Saw some customers that I work with and some customers that I finally got to meet in face-to-face. So that was great. That's also great about being here at the conference. 6 years with this company. Never got to come to the conference. So maybe they'll invite me more often, you know? We'll see. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Hey there, fertility fam. Hi, fertility fam.
Hi, fam. Look who I have again with me. How's your stay in New York?
So far, so good.
Yes.
My presentation is going well.
Okay.
Listen, it's a video inside of a video.
Hey, how are you?
I don't have a name for my people. Hi, people.
Oh my God. Hi, people.
But you're all still fertility fam.
Because
if you're not watching Simply Tanika, you probably should.
Oh my God.
So you can be fertility fam.
Yeah.
We're all fertility fam today.
Yes, yes, we are all fertility fam today. How was your trip then? Your presentation went well?
My presentation went extremely well. Oh my God. Apparently I have like fans and customers now want me to do work for them. That's probably a good thing.
Yes.
But
and
I guess it's like a good problem to have.
The big boss you found out wanted you to, he nominated you to.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So my direct manager is who told me that I had to give the presentation like a month ago while we were preparing for like another team meeting, and I had another presentation I had to do for that. And then she was like, oh wait, yeah, you're gonna go to the conference. And then it was like, oh wait, there's more. You're gonna give this presentation. Oh, okay. All right. Sure. And then it just turned into this whole thing where I ripped my hair out trying to get all the content together, but it actually ended up very, very well. Now my arm hurts. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye to these folks here, and I'm going to say hello to y'all here. You get what? Anyway. All right, talk to y'all in a second. So anyway, I should have said, find out the rest of the story.
Over here. Oh my goodness.
But anyway.
It's late, you guys. Well, it's early.
Earlier than it was last time.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
yes.
it was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
too.
yes, that is true. That is true.
It's been a time. Okay.
And you got super warm, but you were inside. It was very warm today. Like 90 degrees, they said.
Yeah, it was like cold in the camp.
Yeah.
Like people were walking around in jackets, and sweaters, and shawls, and
I had a
suit
sweater.
coats.
Oh, no coats. So
Not coats, but like suit jackets.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, air was on ice. Not sure what was going on there. People were complaining it was too cold. Yeah.
That's to keep them awake.
Well, that's interesting because cold makes me sleepy.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
When I'm cold and I can't get warm, it's just like, okay, I'll just go to sleep. Maybe I won't feel it. But I don't know. For some people, it keeps them awake. I mean, I guess when you're tired, you're just tired.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Yes.
But anyway, it went well. Maybe a little too well. I made myself a whole lot of work. People think I'm smart. They actually know what I was doing.
Oh my God.
So, I guess I made it sound good. But people were proud and thought I did an excellent job.
Were you proud?
I was just glad it was done.
You weren't proud of yourself?
I was proud of myself that I got through it and that it was done.
And that you did well?
No, I am. I don't take compliments well, right? So it probably felt a little awkward for people to come up. That was an excellent presentation. And I'm just standing at them like, oh, thank you. They're like, yeah, that was really good. And I was just like, oh, thank you.
Aww.
I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Sorry, I'm not really good at this.
No, I knew it was going to be good when you showed me some of it last night. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. It didn't help that the boss man didn't really go through the presentation with me. And he went first on what was supposed to be the easy part. But he snatched up all the time.
Okay. Oh.
So, and all the dry runs where they were telling me I was talking too fast actually worked to my benefit.
Okay.
Because I talked really fast to get through the entire thing before we ran out of time.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, people got to ask a few questions. And some even thought they were, like, heckling a little bit. But he actually came up to me and apologized. Well, sorry, I was giving you a hard time. And I was like, well, no, I mean, ask the questions, right? We're telling you to do it one way, you do it another way. And you want to know why should you change what you're doing. Nobody's saying you should change. This is just how we recommend that you do it. If this is working for you, then that works for you. Every scenario is different. So, okay. But now he's actually a member of that actual customer that now wants me to help them.
Oh, the one who was asking questions is now the one. Okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh, okay, all right, great. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, sure.
And they probably liked how you interacted with them then too, like that. The rapport you built with them.
If you can call it a rapport, it was.
Because he probably thought you were
like.
Yeah. If he thought he was throwing you a curveball and you smiled and gracefully answered and yeah.
I guess I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I'm just like, okay, right. But I mean, coworkers alike, like we had, because it's an extremely technical presentation, right? And so sometimes it hasn't been done very much, what we're trying to explain. Right. So there were folks from engineering and folks from our cloud team. They were sitting in the front row, all ready to take on the hard questions, you know. And when it was over, you know, the guys were like, oh my gosh, you did great. So I was just like, oh, did I? That's nice.
Nice.
Now let's go eat because I only ate once today.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But I am very glad that it's over. There's no more pressure and I can actually sleep, which I've been here for a little bit, napping here and there. So I'm probably
Me too.
Like a little drowsy. So
oh my goodness.
I'm like, yeah.
And you have to be at the booth at 7.
Yes.
Cheerful and informative.
Listen, I don't try to be nowhere at 7:30. Like, when the doctor say, oh, your appointment's at 8 a.m., I'm like, okay. 7:30? I'm just rolling out of bed at 7:30. I gotta be somewhere up, dressed, splash some makeup on my face or something.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Ironed a little bit, maybe. I don't know. And be answering somebody's question at 7:30 in the morning.
No.
And be polite at the same time.
Oh. Yeah, I think you
that might be a
jinxed
lot
me.
to ask.
Because I was making fun of you having to be up, and then I had a meeting this morning that got set for early, and I was just like, it was either you or the fact that I think he saw me coming in later and later, and he moved my meeting up. It was with our SVP, and I was like, but I was 5 minutes late, and he didn't seem perturbed. Like, morning is not my thing. I'll stay late. I'll stay as late as you need me to stay, but morning is not my thing.
Yeah, I'm not for the morning.
Yeah.
No, I never have been. I'm not a morning person at all. But I guess I'll have to be tomorrow.
It'll be alright. Yeah.
Well, they said, well, nobody's asking questions at 7:30, and I'm like, but they're serving breakfast at 7:30. So even if they're not really like ready for a conference, they come down to get the free food.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, there's people over here that I can ask questions to. Maybe I should ask some questions. Like, okay, so I can't like be over here nodded off.
Oh my God. Are you been in the booth by yourself?
No, it's like me and 13 other people. So that are responsible, and I'm just like, who put me on the shift? Like, nobody worked this out with me, and I found out about it yesterday. Like an email came in yesterday that was like, oh, was it yesterday or was it Tuesday? Was I on the phone with you? I was texting you. And I was just like, yeah, man, now I need to, on Friday, I got to be there at 7:30.
Oh, yes. Maybe it was, I don't remember. It was Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that was before. It was before I left, yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, this email just came, what, 2 days before? Who worked out this here schedule?
Oh, my God. Maybe somebody dropped out. And then they added you.
I don't think so.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, who put my name in the hat for 7:30? And there's one guy on my team who was there at the conference. He's like, oh, I managed to escape booth duty altogether. Really? You want my spot?
Right? Don't brag.
You really want to be at the booth? You could be there instead of me with your blue shirt on.
Oh, my God.
Give me a break.
Right. Let me sleep in.
So, but that's all right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
And then you have to do
I'll smile and I'll nod.
And just, and you have to answer some questions, too.
Well, that's the whole point. Like, you wear the blue shirt and people walk around and they stop you like, hey, I can ask you a question. Okay. Shoot.
Wait, but how do they know? You guys tell them?
Because they told everybody.
Okay.
People wearing the blue shirts, they're the technical people. You can ask them questions. Those guys in those white shirts, yeah, they don't know nothing. You don't have to ask them anything. I was trying to wear a white shirt today.
No.
It's like, if it'll keep people from asking me questions, maybe I should. The boss man didn't have on a blue shirt. He should have had on a blue shirt.
What technical questions was he going to answer?
He's very technical.
Oh, okay.
He's extremely technical. He could answer he could have gave this presentation himself. He really didn't.
Okay.
Didn't need me to give the presentation. Well, maybe he needed me to make the slides. He didn't need me to give the presentation, but it was nice to know that it was his idea for me to give the presentation with him.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel a little special. Somebody thinks I'm smart.
Yes. Well, you should think you're smart too.
I do think I'm smart, but I don't think some people realize how smart I am. Okay. No, that sounded really conceited, didn't it?
No.
That's okay. I think I just really love what I do, and that comes across. I get that a lot, that it comes across, and sometimes in performance reviews, I see things like, well, like, the way she attacks, the job or whatever, it motivates other people. I'm like, does it? Really? Nobody tells me that. Okay. They're like, yeah, like people really. I said, oh, well, I'm just trying to do my job. Like, I just want to be, like, if I was a trash person who picked up trash, I want to be the best person that I can pick up, that ever did the job.
Yes.
That's just who I am. So I'm not necessarily trying to be the best, but I just think that I want to do it to the best of my ability.
You take pride in it. Like you want to,
so it's like, I don't ever want to be able to say I don't know to the customers. So I research and then try to find out as much as I can, but at the end of the day, it's inevitable to say I don't know. It's just kind of like, that's a good question. Let me get back to you instead of saying I don't know. Right.
Well, because no one person knows everything. So, yeah, that's not a weakness to say, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, so it was cool. I just feel like it'll turn into, oh, well, she did so well now. Let's give her another presentation. She can do it all by herself.
Of course. Well,
we do the conference in 2 places. So we do it in the States, and then next week they're going to London, and they're like, oh, so she did so well. She going to London. Like, people were making a case for me to be in London next week, and I'm like, I don't really want to go to London next week. I mean, it would be nice to go to London, but yeah, I don't want to go to London next week.
And present.
Like, I don't. This is hard. These 2-day conferences all day being around.
Right.
I don't. Nope. That's fine.
Well, it's hard on the body too, right? You're traveling. You're eating different food.
To go for 2 days.
Not. Yeah.
And I'm traveling enough right now.
Right.
I don't need to add London to the schedule. You know.
But wait, how long is it to go to Chicago from your place? Because London is like 6 hours from here. Oh, it's only 2 hours?
Maybe 2.5.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was longer.
To Chicago, but yeah, like 2.5. Okay. Maybe it's like, well, we gained an hour going, so let me see. 4.
Yeah, but it's still 6 hours of travel to London. It's yeah, it takes me longer to get to my mom in California than it does for me to get to London.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
It's not bad, but I mean,
I would go to London.
But
what do they do? I know.
Next week? No, I don't want to go to London.
What happens like when you start your IVF cycles? Like, will you tell them you can't travel, or like how do you work out logistics?
Well, the IVF cycle generally is short, right? So it goes about like 2 weeks. I think if it was a time that I couldn't travel, it's not like they say, hey, you gotta be on a plane. You know, it's nothing like that. So all this travel, well, except for when I was in DC, that one was like a little last minute. It came up kind of last minute. They just needed somebody to go, and it was like, can you? You know, it wasn't like, you go.
Right. So you could have said no.
If I had things going on in my personal life, it'd be like, yeah, I can't really travel right now. I mean, like when my sister was sick, you know, I had a customer who was like, well, why can Tanika come? Like, they were my actual customer, and they wanted somebody on site like every month. And it was like, well, can Tanika be here? And they were only in Pittsburgh, but the reality was, well, my sister wasn't doing very well. And I said, listen, I can get on the plane and I can go to Pittsburgh, but I'm telling you right now, if something goes down, I'm on the first thing smoking out of here.
That's right.
So you want to do that to the customer, be my guest.
Right.
I wouldn't take the risk if I were you. And that was just me being honest. I think they understood that, and they were very accommodating to the fact that I couldn't. It wasn't appropriate. Not that I couldn't, or that it wasn't appropriate.
But you had other
difficult for me to travel at the time.
Okay.
So, but I mean, you know, it also put me in a position to be in New York, like kind of at the last minute for a different customer at a different time, and it was kind of like, okay, New York's a little closer. It's just a train ride. It's not a plane ride. So that's kind of not a big deal, but I think it's okay.
Right.
And
like if
so
you needed to get back. Okay.
Yeah, and that was like very last minute. So it was kind of like, you know, they've been doing me a solid for a long time. So, but usually it's not, it's like, oh, does this time work for you? I mean, we travel for a customer. It's like, well, the customer wants it to happen this week. Are you okay to travel that week? And it's just like, yeah, okay, I guess I could get on.
Okay.
I don't usually have anything going on, so it's like, okay, sure, I'll go. Why not? I ended up at an all-girls high school.
Wow. So, okay.
Which makes my life a lot fun as a TTCer on Facebook, having gone to an all-girls high school.
Oh. Okay.
So my timeline is full of marriage proposals, weddings, new babies, pregnancy announcements.
Right.
That's all that's on my timeline right now. So, well, for the last few years, that's all that's on my timeline.
Do they know that? Is it public that you're a TTC?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They don't know. I just go, congratulations. You know, you choke back the jealousy. And you just type the congratulations and keep scrolling.
Right.
Another one. Great.
And you're happy for them. It's not like you're not happy for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, talk on it again.
Right.
But the problem is, it's not just one. It's like 5 that's announcing at the same time.
Oof.
You know? I mean, they're all in different stages of their pregnancies or whatever. But it's just like, another one?
Right.
And it's like, and another one. Okay. All right. I'm done.
Yours is coming.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and then you have the people that just have to post something about their pregnancy every single day.
Oh no!
And I mean, it's their life on Facebook. So,
but every day.
Yeah, I mean, some people are like really bent on social media. Maybe I'm just too busy to really be on social media like that.
I'm just trying to figure out what did you say about your pregnancy every day.
Oh, he's moving. Oh, look at my stomach, bare stomach, whatever. I don't know. I mean, to each their own. I just think that I'm realizing that I don't spend as much time on social media anymore since being TTC, because there's so much of this, on the timeline. And it's not that I'm not happy for them. It's like, oh, congratulations, because getting pregnant is a beautiful thing and something to be congratulated. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I can't deal. But I don't know. I'm finding it extremely hard to stick to keto.
Really? Is it because of the travel or because in general?
I just think when I travel for work and they provide food, that's like the problem, right? You're providing food. It's not on my schedule. I can't say that I just want this, right? If there's a salad, it's like this salad, but not like the salad like I would make a salad. And the options, there are like really no low carb options. You stick a bunch of pasta in front of me and then chicken parm sandwiches. Like, what? How am I supposed to stay keto?
Right.
With that?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I'm just supposed to sit here with this little salad cup while everyone eats like pasta, linguine, and clams. No. That's like torture.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I didn't. I mean, I told you yesterday, I was supposed to do my diet when I came back from California. I haven't. I got on the scale today and it was not kind. But I'm not motivated to do it. I don't know what it is. And I said when it got warm, I was going to go outside, and it was warm today. I didn't get up early and go exercise. I was out till, I didn't get here till almost 3 o'clock. But I need to sit down and come up with a plan. Like, I really do, because it's not going to get any better.
Sometimes you just have to do it.
I had
not even a plan.
2 lunches yesterday, and the second one was like a tuna sandwich from Subway. I hardly ever go to Subway, and like that's the mayonnaise, and that was lunch number 2. I was hungry. I had that and chips, and I was just like, oh god. Had margaritas. I had skinny margaritas, but I still had 2 of them, so it was like having one regular margarita. I don't know. It's difficult.
I think I managed in the last 3 weeks, because I've been doing keto, I guess you could say, for like the last 3 weeks. I think I managed to stick to keto for like a full week. But that was like the full week that I was home. Right. But traveling in between kicks you off, and then you come home and it's like, well, I'm not in ketosis, so I might as well just eat. So you just make bad decisions. Okay. But you lost weight. I mean, you lost weight this year. You lost weight last year. Like, so you've made progress. Yes. Yeah. Right now it's like, even though I'm off keto, I'm not like gaining. I'm just maintaining. Okay. But I don't know. I try. It's only a couple days, so you think like it shouldn't like derail me that much. It's just a couple days. Right. But it takes about 3 days to get into ketosis. So it's like you get in it, you eat something that takes you out, and then it takes 3 days to really recover from that. Meanwhile, you're just coasting, until you get back there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it's still a good thing. Your body does eat up the fat, but it just takes a little while longer to get back to the max. That is so crazy. So, how does it work? Because I saw your video yesterday or this morning, and you were saying like you tested and you were in ketosis. They're urine strips. So basically, it's just a dip strip, and it changes color like a pH strip to see whether. So basically, what happens is your body, when you eat carbohydrates, your body or your liver will convert the carbohydrates to glucose, right? So your body will burn glucose as a form of fuel, right? So when your body does not have enough glucose, it will resort to stored energy, which is fat. But fat does not become glucose in your body. Fat becomes ketones. So so if you're burning fat, then Right, so you'll burn fat, and then your body will use the ketones as a source of fuel instead. But the difference is with glucose, your body does not expel the extra glucose into your urines. It turns it into stored energy, which basically turns into fat. But for ketones, your body will actually expel it in your urine, any extra ketones. So that's what shows up.
Gotcha.
So you don't want to see like a large or a moderate amount of ketones. You actually want to, I mean, not moderate, but you don't want to see like a large or a super large amount of ketones. You want to see kind of like a moderate amount of ketones.
Why? Because that's more sustainable?
Not that it's more sustainable, it's just that like you don't have to be doing keto to have ketones in your urine. Like you could be I think like ketoacidosis.
Yes.
Where you're diabetic, you have a lot of ketones in your system, but you also have your sugars are still high. Right, which means you still have a whole lot of glucose. Your body's not burning the sugar for fuel. So it's using and that is really dangerous. It can be deadly. So, you know, you see, like, if the strip, it turns like a deep purple when you're in there. If you see that deep purple, that could be a bad thing.
And where did you get the strips from?
Walgreens.
And they're just called ketone strips? Or
you'll see them, keto strips. They don't, no particular brand. You'll find them around, like, the diabetic supplies. So, because as a diabetic, that's something you want to check for to make sure you're not ketoacidosis. But, you know, I think they're just called ketone strips.
Ketone.
Ketone.
I'm gonna look. Yeah.
So it takes, I think, for me, I think 2.5 days. It just really depends. I mean, it's not like you're going through life with no carbs. I mean, if you eat a vegetable, there's some carbs. And that, and, you know, depending on how the meat is prepared, there might be some carbs in that. The idea is, I know when I looked it up, I guess I found like an athlete who was like trying to do it, and a lot of people follow like macros and whatnot. So he was saying you want to do like 5 to 10% carb. So I try to stay as close to 5% carb. And then I think it's like 70 to 75% fat. And then I guess that leaves what 20 to 25% protein. But the thing about the protein is you don't want to have too much protein either. So what he was saying is you should keep your protein to be like, one, you want to find out what your lean body mass is. So if like for me, my lean body mass, I'm about like 101 pounds of lean body mass. So as far as your protein goes, you don't want to go over 0.6 or from 0.6 to 1% of your lean body mass, which means I can have about 100 grams of protein, which is actually a lot of protein, but that's only 25% of my macros. So if 100 grams of protein is my 25%, then I can. You know,
I can use the MyFitnessPal app because it has it on there. It'll have, I think I have the advanced one or whatever. Like
you don't even need the advanced one. I don't have it. You can actually set
macros.
You can actually set your goals for your macros. I don't pay for the advanced, but I was able to set my goals like 25% protein, 5% carb, and then this 75% fat. And then, you know, you just track your meals from there and kind of see how you fall into it.
I need to do that. I haven't tracked in a while.
I'm bad at tracking the meals. I just wanted to see, like, if I ate something, you know, for a day, what I'd regularly eat. So I tracked it for, like, a couple of days. And I fell right in there. It was, like, may have been a little bit low on the protein side or whatever, but I fell right in there around that range. And I was still under, like, 1,300 calories at the same time. So, and I just ate, you know, what I felt like I could eat on regular keto, and I was just like, oh, why did I put this off for so long? But I think eventually I'm just gonna miss bread. I'm gonna miss fruit, and that's what's getting me right now, because that's all that's around me is bread and pasta. Like sweets are not my. I mean, the sweets are around too, but that's not my vice. The bread, the pasta. I can withstand potatoes, but pasta, I can't.
I think mine's gonna have to be more exercise because the food thing, like I'm just not in the headspace to cut back on
the food. Is what the bad or the bulge is one at the table.
Oh my God. Well, that's why I'm not winning.
You could do food and no exercise and lose weight.
Yeah. Well, my willpower is not there right now.
Yeah. It's a mind thing. You have to. I don't know. For me, it's like too hard to focus on both. I got to do one or the other. But I think I got my workouts pretty set.
Okay.
Like I don't like skip on the workouts when I'm home now. There was a time where I would travel for work and I'd make sure I hit the gym and got on the treadmill and all of that. I don't have time for that now, and the folks make me get up too early.
Okay.
You know.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna try. I think the exercise will be good for me. One, because it'll help like keep me relaxed and get my circulation going and everything else. I'm gonna try that first, like, and then keep that up and then go for the food. But like I'll be good for 2 days and then something will happen and I'll be craving something and I'll just go eat it. Like, ooh.
I used to deny being an emotional eater, but I see now it's like I'm angry. You know what? I'm gonna eat something that I want.
Right.
Or I'm upset, sad. Well, let me go ahead and get this here Moe's burrito with the queso. I want a cup of queso, not a side of queso with all the extra chips.
Right.
It's gonna be good. So,
oof, yeah.
It's just I'm admitting I have a problem. I'm an emotional eater, apparently. You heard it here, folks. I heard it here first, folks. Because I'm like, I've been in denial about that for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, right? It's like, yeah.
You do the best you can. The only problem with it now is I have, 2 weeks before I report to the doctor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like it's so soon, but only because
but
my videos are so delayed.
Though, on Instagram, though, I feel like the keto.
Yes, it's like I try, but I don't always make it throughout the whole day.
Okay.
So I can usually start the day pretty good, but depending on what happens in the day, I may not finish the day good.
Okay.
And with keto, it doesn't matter whether you start the day bad or finish the day bad. Either way, you're out of ketosis. You know.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But I have to buckle down, and that's part of the issue. It's like, okay, I know I've not been perfect on the diet, and yeah, I'm doing the insulin resistance thing. So I think what's happening is that now that I'm taking the metformin, even though I don't want to take the metformin, but now that I'm taking the metformin, I mean, in all actuality, I don't need the metformin, right? If I'm doing keto like I'm supposed to do keto, my sugars are absolutely normal.
Okay.
My A1C, well, it takes 3 months for the A1C to show that normality, but I don't know. I guess I am still losing, even though I'm not perfect on keto. And
right.
That has a lot to do with the metformin, because I can just eat like a piece of bread like a regular person, but my body doesn't respond to it like a regular person. So the sugars go sky high or whatever, and that just keeps you from losing weight, which is why my plateaus are so hard.
Right.
So
okay.
But I think now that I'm on the metformin, my body's just treating it like regular, because I don't feel like I overeat. I don't feel like I've overeaten the food that they provided or anything like that. I'm not stuffing myself. I'm not overdoing it on the sweets or anything. It's just that my body just doesn't respond to it like somebody else's does.
Okay.
You know, there's one guy on my team. He's super tall, super skinny. As much sugar as he can pipe down, he gets. I'm talking ice cream, ices, cake. You name it, he's getting to it. The more sugar it has in it, the better.
Okay.
And I don't know, he's like thin as a rail.
Wow.
You know, just everybody's different. Sweets are not my thing.
Right.
Certain sweets like baklava, that's the one I can't resist. So
everything is my thing. Like sweets, meat, bread, pasta. Ooh.
I wish it was a sweet tooth that I had, and it's like I've had no trouble refraining from alcohol. That is just unnecessary sugar in it that I can stay away from. I can drink water; it doesn't even have to be flavored. Like, that's not my problem.
Right.
I cannot eat bread. I can do that. Pasta is a little hard for me to refrain from. I cannot eat potatoes.
Okay.
You know, I don't like potatoes anyway without ketchup. Ketchup is full of sugar as well. So it's just like, oh well, so I just won't eat the potatoes. But I don't know. At the end of the day, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And I only have 2 weeks weeks now. I think I went into this week saying, well, I only have 3 weeks.
So what happens in 2 weeks?
This week's over. I see the doctor again, and basically he's supposed to be like starting the protocol, but he really wants the weight to be where it is. And I think he feels like being on the metformin would make the difference in like the 8 pounds.
Right.
Like this 8 pounds has been so elusive, and it frustrates me. And part of it is the travel and the interruptions in the diet, and part of it is, you know, my body just wasn't doing what it needed to do. But okay, I'm taking the metformin. I am actually seeing the weight go down despite not being so strict on the diet. Okay. And that's I know good. That since that's working, the other thing is the differences in the birth control that I was on. So he actually, the birth control that he put me on, and I don't know if I talked about this or if I will talk about this. Why did you put you on birth control? Like, it's the first part of my IVF protocol. Okay, so they do that instead of like estrogen? No, so the point in the birth control is to be a suppressant. So it's basically supposed to down-regulate me and sort of keep everything sort of dormant so that when they start the stem. So all of the protocols involve some bit of down regulation. They use different medicines to do the down regulation. Okay. So some might use like Lupron to down regulate you. It just depends on the protocol. But this particular protocol just involves the birth control to just kind of quiet everything down.
And how long do you have to take it?
Usually 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it wasn't intended for me to be on it this long, but he was like, oh, here's a vote of confidence. I'll give you the birth control. You'll come back in 2 weeks. We'll see where your weight is. And the fact of the matter was, I didn't lose any weight, but I stopped losing weight the moment I started taking it. And the thing is, the birth control he gave me was a progestin, which we know progesterone slows everything in your system down. Yes. So all my digestion completely went completely, and so now I wasn't losing any weight. Okay. So even though I lost, and then like even after that was like what, the 11th, and then there was another 2 weeks after that, and that's when I was going to go keto, and I wasn't perfect on keto, but I still didn't lose any weight. And I was just like, well, it must be like the sugars. But to be quite honest, I lost 4% of my body fat. Right. Even though I lost absolutely no weight. So how can I lose this much body fat and not lose any weight? It must be all the waste from my digestion being completely slow. Right. And I noticed the difference in my level of elimination. Okay. And so at the last appointment, he switched the birth control to more of an estrogen and not a progesterone. Okay. And now I'm eliminating like I'm used to. Okay. Right. And that's probably making a lot of difference in what I'm seeing on the scale as well. Yes. Because now I'm actually eliminating what I'm supposed to. So I was just like, I knew that birth control. It's like he did it on purpose. Oh my god. Oh my god. But I mean, let that be a lesson. You know, you're trying to lose weight, and yeah, he said he didn't want to start until, but it's like, then why put me on the progesterone when you know that that's what progesterone does? Right. Maybe he thought it was so low that it wouldn't affect me in that way, but it affected me in that way anyway. Right. And it was still too low of a dose because I ended up getting my period on time anyway. It wasn't exactly my regular period. Okay. But, and that's something you haven't seen yet, right? Because, like, my cycle 12 videos haven't started. Right.
I haven't seen it, but you guys have probably seen it by the time you see this video.
Yeah, so.
Because this will be 2 weeks out.
Well, why am I on cycle 12? Why did I actually have a period that started? It wasn't like a regular period, but it was still, like, active bleeding. Right. So it was like, okay, well, maybe that pill's a little too low, which is another reason why he switched it. Okay. So wow. I'm just like, and my acupuncturist called it because I had that spotting at the very beginning of me taking it. I had 10 days of brown spotting. She was just like, well, you know, sometimes that can happen, but I'm concerned that it might be too low of a dose, is what she said. She said that outright. Wow. And so now I come back and it's just like, listen, I've been on the birth control 3 weeks. It's all just the active pills. I don't take the inactive pills. Okay. So 3 weeks I've been on this, and my cycle, like the bleeding started exactly when I would have started naturally. Like nothing changed.
So it was like you weren't even taking it.
It's like I had probably 3 days of brown spotting before the bleeding started. And because I had 10 days of brown spotting, then no spotting at all, and then all of a sudden 3 days before my cycle was supposed to naturally start, I had 3 days of brown spotting, and then it was just like full on bleeding.
Oh my goodness!
But it wasn't like, it was light. Like for what my cycles are, it was completely light. It worked in that sense, but in another sense, it's like, why is it that I can easily like snap a finger and be like, okay, you know, I could be boohoo crying, and then it's just like, oh, I got a meeting in 2 minutes. Okay, suck it up. Go to the meeting, then I go back to boohoo crying. It just seems like I'm schizophrenic, right? But in all actuality, that's real life, you know. So I've gotten really good at that, but it's not. But at the end of the day, that's why my body responds more to stress than I do emotionally or outwardly. It's all like internalized, and my body doesn't respond to any of that. So while I handle stress in a way that people, it just seems like I'm like a machine that just keeps
like
going.
Unfazed.
The reality, my body is like, no, boo boo. Check that blood pressure.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right. So even though I feel fine, you check that blood pressure, it's not fine.
Sometimes we're in survival mode, and I think when we have a moment to reflect and look back, we have to get out of survival mode. Like, I know what you mean about like grief. Like when my brother was killed, my mother was a wreck, and so I had to step up, and I'm her oldest, and help her get through it all. So I didn't get to grieve for him because I was worried about her. And then like maybe 2-3 years later, like it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was like I hadn't processed it at all, and I just kept going. But it's like, we don't do ourselves any favors. Like, and it wasn't like, I'm not saying that it was wrong that it happened that way. It just happened that way, right? But so sometimes we do that out of survival. But then when we have a moment to reflect, we have to figure out how to take care of ourselves, right? Because it's like, if we don't want to end up in a hospital with a stroke, with a heart attack, whatever, because we have failed to take care of ourselves. So it's like, how do we find that time and that space, like mentally, to check in and say, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Like, how do I give you what you need?
Well, we don't, right? Because life is so busy. You don't think to. I guess as women nurturers, it's always, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? There isn't a whole lot of I. What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? I very seldomly ask myself, what do you need, Tanika? Right. You know, and I talk to myself all the time. What are you doing, Tanika? I don't know, Tanika. What am I doing? You know, no, I'm not crazy. Okay, maybe just a little bit.
Well, as long as you don't answer, no.
No, I totally answer. Okay, that's what they say. As long as you don't answer, no. You know what, Tanika? I have no clue what I'm doing. And people look at me like, you all right?
Oh,
I'm okay. I'm just working something out with myself.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking out loud. Yes. Okay? I'm thinking out loud. Don't worry about the voices I hear in my head. People laugh at me. I'm a little crazy, just a little bit.
It's okay. I'm a lot of crazy.
Yeah, it's like I don't. Of all the questions, all the questions I ask myself, none of it is, you know, Tanika, what do you want to do?
Right. How are you taking care of yourself? Yeah. How are you showing yourself that you love you?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the hard one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to worrying about me.
Right. But you gotta start putting yourself first.
It's another bad habit.
Right.
You know, that I have to break. And I do get on the treadmill 3 times a week, and that's a version of stress relief. But now there's this weight loss journey, so now that's become part of that. So now it's not about stress relief anymore. It's about the weight loss. So it's like these things that I was doing for myself to kind of manage stress or whatever is kind of taken away because, you know, the TTC journey goes in like, I need this.
Yes.
And I need this. Yes. And I need this. And what do you have left for yourself? Nothing. Oh, give me that too. You know?
Oh my God, it's so true. Yes, it is so true.
So now it's just like, it's hard to find now the time because part of the stress is going to this appointment, going to that appointment, and it's all become part of the TTC journey.
Right.
So that just adds to the stress of the journey itself, which is like, it's like productive but counterproductive at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So now at this point, it's like, you asked me when last time I took a basal tent.
Oh.
It's been a while.
I know.
I haven't done any ferning, no basal temps.
I was going to ask you about the ferning, but I think sometimes, like, the reason why I haven't done it, it becomes another stressor, right? Because it was like when I wasn't doing it right, or if I was, like, if I missed a day, then I was hard on myself. And so I was like, I have to get out of this punishment phase because I'm, like, very task oriented. I want to check stuff off. And then when I haven't, I'm like, you haven't done this. But it's like, it's not supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to be for the greater good. And so then if it becomes something that is like causing me anxiety if I do it or don't do it, then maybe I gotta take a break from it. You know what I mean? Like, so if you don't take your temperature, what happens?
Nothing.
Right. The world still spins on its axis. Right?
Nothing at all. And to be quite honest, I'm enjoying waking up not shoving a thermometer in my mouth.
Right. Right. So. Now, it was good for me in the beginning because I did learn about my cycles. I learned about my luteal phase, which I had no, like, concept of it before TTC. So that was good. But, like, once it became anxiety inducing, I was like, okay, I gotta take a break.
Like, now I have no clue what today's cycle day is.
Yeah, me either.
I've rarely looked at Fertility Friend, and maybe because I'm not making attempts.
Right.
And that's probably, I'm better off. I mean, it's information overload is what it is. Yeah. And I remember my manager, when I was telling her about all the, like, the tracking and everything, she's like, oh my gosh, how are you going to turn this off when you get pregnant? I was just like, I think it'll be worse if I got pregnant, because now I want to know every single thing about what's going on with the baby and all of that. I think it would just get worse. Yeah. I don't think I would be able to turn it off. But I guess maybe now, just taking a break from it now, maybe it won't be so bad. Right. You know?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be as intense. But I think before, like, if I would have got pregnant straight away, I would have been, like, still temping after I got a BFP because, like, oh, how's the baby doing? Like, am I going to be miscarrying? And, like, just causing myself extra anxiety and continuing to pee. Like, I see ladies on Instagram, if you do it, no judgment, who keep peeing on sticks. So is it darker or is it lighter? But I'm like, it's causing so much anxiety. Is it worth it? At the end of the day, and as somebody who's had a miscarriage, what's going to be is going to be.
Yeah, or the stress in itself of worrying about it makes it become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right. Which is even worse, because then now you blame yourself. Well, did I do this to myself because I was stressing out and I was this and I was that? So it's just a bad merry-go-round to be on.
Yeah, just get off the merry-go-round. Yeah.
Hey, ladies, conference is over. Trying to make my way to the airport. It's been rough. Hand signal, stop the recording. You can't be just throwing up your gangster signs. We're headed to the airport. This is homegirl / manager extraordinaire. Yay! Say hello to all the TTC ladies out there.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, we're leaving the conference on our way to the airport. Trying not to miss our flights, even though they're like 3 hours from now. But the traffic is crazy from Brooklyn. You didn't eat? Did you eat lunch?
No, yeah, with you.
Oh, did you have a snack?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was like potato chips and stuff. The sales guy got me. Oh, well. Well, we'll let you know if we make it, or if I make it, because her flight's an hour after mine. All right. Hey, I'm home. Back in Orlando. 11:45. I'm tired.
So nice.
Time to leave to blow this popsicle stand, go get my car, and get in my bed. See y'all in a few.
All right, we're back. We ran out of tape or batteries or...
We talk too much.
It's like a girl slumber party. But thank you for watching. Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Sticky baby dust.
Baby dust to you all.